All right. So you want to start with an introduction?
Sure.
Okay.
How do you want me to introduce myself?
Name
What
and
would you like me?
profession.
What would you like to know?
Victoria.
Name,
Yeah.
profession,
And
and
what you
how
do.
you got into what you're doing.
Yeah. Okay. So my name is Victoria.
Yeah.
My profession, I call myself a ceremonial healer,
Okay.
but I'm a little woo, a little science. I got into my profession. I actually just had this conversation because I had a huge rupture with me and my mother-in-law, and I was like thrown into I don't know, emotional chaos, I would call it.
Mhm.
And then I spent 3 years in therapy trying to understand more, which made me like more rageful because nothing actually changed the way that I related or the way that I felt.
Yeah.
And then my
So-
husband basically gave me an ultimatum, and I found the modality that I practice now.
Good.
So what happened with your mother-in-law? That's the big
yeah.
question. I
Okay.
want to know because, like, I think everyone wants to know. But
Yeah.
This is kind of
So
pretty common.
I'll back up a little bit. So my
No,
childhood.
we have a magic cure for like your
Right.
mother-in-law.
Yeah,
your
this will
money
solve
now.
all your mother-in-law issues.
This is going to sell better than the Bible.
Right? I should just call myself the mother-in-law healer.
Yeah.
We have a great relationship now, which I'm
Yeah.
super grateful for. And I really, truly believe that she is like the catalyst of my purpose.
Yeah.
And if you would have told me that at the time, I would have been like, you fucking liar.
Yeah.
But essentially I come from a family where my grandparents would not see my dad.
Yeah.
And it was very separate. And so holidays and birthdays and everything was very separate from my dad and then what we did with my mom's side of the family.
Yeah.
And when I grew up, I was not going to have that, right? Because we don't want to repeat patterns of our past.
Yeah.
And so I had 2 kids and we were getting along. And my husband was invited to Hawaii for a conference. And so we ended up going. My mother-in-law ended up staying with the kids. And like immediately when we got there, she called and was like overwhelmed. And I'm like, well, how are you going to handle 5 days? Like if you're overwhelmed in minute 1, like shit, right? So it just kind of snowballed from there. And essentially, I think things had been building a little bit, like little resentments here and there or passive aggressive remarks or whatever. And then that kind of just like culminated. And I was I was on an island. I couldn't do anything. I had to basically call in reinforcements, which I wasn't happy about. And emotionally, I was just extremely rageful and overwhelmed and really didn't have the tools, I think, to sit with emotion or even know what I was doing. Yeah. And so that kind of just festered over time. I've sought 3 years of therapy, trying to figure it out, attachment style therapies and hypnotherapies and all the different therapies, all to find
These are all
out
with
that
different types of therapists.
Oh, I did different types of therapists. Yeah. So like I went to a therapist that was specialized in attachment style, right? So I learned all about attachment style. And I went to a therapist for IFS, which is internal family systems, which is a great modality. It just took a long time.
Okay.
I went to a hypnotherapist. I went to a trauma therapist. And I ended up across the couch from people and basically they're like, well, have you tried this? I'm like, yeah.
You tried a podcast.
Yeah, right?
You have a coach.
And I was standing in the kitchen one day with my husband and his parents have a house down in Mexico and he grew up going down there and he really wanted our children to experience the house down there. But I was feeling like thrown to the wolves and I was like, I can't believe that you would throw me into this situation with your parents who in my mind at the time, I was like, they're incredibly abusive. I'm a victim. And so I ended up basically getting an ultimatum from my husband of like, you need to figure this out. We're going to Mexico. Yeah. And that day I turned on one of my favorite human design podcasts. This lady was talking about the subconscious mind and about this modality called Psych-K. And it was literally like I saw a puzzle piece click into place and I was like, that's what I've been needing. And so I scheduled time with her. I bought 4 sessions. In the very first session, I basically, what was happening is that I was in a trauma loop, right? Yeah. So it's like any little trigger would just kind of throw me back into the initial moment of feeling overwhelmed and rageful and all these different things. And so what we did was essentially use this modality to completely close that trauma loop and come to peace and non-attachment to see it from a higher perspective. Yeah. And then to give myself empowering beliefs. So it's kind of like a manual upgrade for your belief system that, you know, we're not a phone. We don't get plugged in at night and get an automatic iOS update. So we have to do it manually. So that was the way that I did it. And then doing that modality for 5 years and reprogramming thousands of beliefs, I now have an incredible relationship with her.
Yeah.
There you go.
No, because like, I don't know, like my wife's had the issue with my mom. So I kind of see very similar, like, and every time it's been kind of traumatic. I haven't been home. Well, actually, once I was there, and my mom was kind of abusive, but it's, you know, like neither one of them I don't think know how to handle the
bridge the gap.
situation.
Right.
Yeah.
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 And it just gets more and more heated, and then it just like clashes, and
Well, and then you're
and
stuck
it's
in the
like,
middle.
yeah, and then there's no coming back from it, almost, like with some of the stuff that's said, and you know, and it's never forgotten. So
The family, not just mother-in-law, the family's so dynamic that you have like, these are people we're supposed to enjoy time with. And it's just like pretty much what's going on in the Middle East. You have one country bombing another one bombing 6 more. And like, it's going back and forth.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's all from wounding and conditioning and trauma. And if you can have the perspective that, like, you know, my mother-in-law had her own share of abuse in her life, and not that made an excuse. And I think that during talk therapy or any sort of like cognitive therapy, that was, I think, what made me so upset was that right? Like, yes, she comes from a family of abuse or she's been in abusive situations, but like, why does that excuse how I feel in the situation, or how does that excuse her behavior, right?
Yeah.
And when we reprogram our subconscious mind and we actually see it from a different level perspective, almost like a spirit self perspective, when we change, they change. And like, we have a great relationship now and she didn't do anything, right? It's all because I changed the way I was seeing it. And I like to look at difficult situations as opportunities for our own development, and to say, like, everybody's our mirror. And so if I'm triggered by you, right, it really probably has nothing to do with you, to be honest. It's probably something that happened in my past that you're now bringing up and pouring salt in my wound that I wasn't aware of. And if people can have that perspective that maybe it's not about this person or this situation or what they said or didn't say, but it's about what it's evoking within me. And if I can see it from, oh, okay, I can see now that this opportunity gave me the ability to trust myself, to believe that I matter, to believe that I can communicate effortlessly without, you know, big emotions, whatever those things are. Whenever we have those conflicts in our life, I like to look at them as just mirrors of our own internal programs that we need to address, because I don't know, I think that's kind of what life's all about.
yeah, it's not you, it's me.
Yeah, it's not you, it's me. Exactly. I mean, sometimes it's you, but like, let's get clear on what my side of the road is, and I can try to like take responsibility for my side. I think that's also part of it.
It's kind of just like building on responsibility and communication.
Yeah.
So how are you getting into the subconscious, or how?
I use a modality. It's called Psych-K. It stands for mind keys. I like to say I'm a recovering control freak. And I didn't like to be like in a hypnotic state, because I was like, I don't like to be like in this suggestible state where you can like program my brain. Like, I don't know. So I found this modality. What it does is it uses body postures and muscle testing and conscious awareness to kind of access the back door of the nervous system. It's based in whole brain research. And so through crossing the midline in different postures, you're essentially turning on more brain capacity and allowing the body to fully process whatever it's in. So knowing that you're in a safe environment, you're kind of like in this little pretzel and you're kind of going through the mental loops and the stress of whatever you're in until your body kind of kicks in and releases it. And then you can see it from a higher perspective. I also use what's called the emotion code and the body code. And so it's using muscle testing again to be like, do you have a trapped emotion? How old were you when you got this trapped emotion? What is it connected to? Is it a inherited emotion? Is it absorbed from your mother in utero, right? So there's a whole bunch of different protocols that I use.
Okay.
But the primary kind of modality to try to get into the subconscious mind is through that body posture and muscle testing.
And are you doing this for men and women, or is it just, okay.
Yeah.
Do men have emotions?
No. It's all a farce.
Which one's harder to deal with and break that?
You know, I don't believe that either one of them is harder. It's about willingness, and it's about whether or not you have the courage to face and be truthful with yourself.
Yeah.
Because physical pain, women, even being in surgery, women have such a higher tolerance than men do.
Yeah. I mean, also I think emotional pain too. Men, and societally, right? Men are taught like, don't have emotions, shove that shit
just
down.
block
like,
it off.
But you don't. I mean, it stores in the body, and then every emotion has a vibrational frequency, and then that goes to the path of least resistance. So then you're wondering why your knee hurts, but it's because you have all these built up emotions, right? And the knees represent, you know, like moving forward and flexibility and all these different things. And so each part of the body, I like to look at each part of the body with clue. It's like a clue, right? It's like, okay, you've been diagnosed with endometriosis. Like, what are the emotional causes that causes endometriosis, right? So I'm always looking at the underlying emotional or energetic layers. But to answer your question, like anyone who is open and willing and at the stage where they just trust the process, it's easy. It's like, it's a computer program basically. And it's like, it doesn't care if something's been there for 50 years or 5 minutes. If you have the right modality and the right intention and the right process, you can update anything. It's like,
So I took a emotional intelligence test. I had like first year in surgical
aced it,
training.
obviously.
No, I got, my score was so low. It was experimental. So my program director didn't know what to make of the results, but he was like, I think I have to have a talk with you because you scored so low, like on the first percentile. And he's like, I'm like, with all these surgery residents, these guys are all lunatics. He's like, no, with all residents, all medical fields. And my response showed how emotionally retarded I was, because I was like, what? I tried. And I went home and I told Sarah, I was like, I can't believe it. This is bullshit test. I got first percentile.
She's like, yeah,
isn't that good? I was like, no, it's a test where 99th percentile. She's like, oh yeah, I could have told you that. You didn't need to take a test to find that out. I was just like so pissed. But that was around the time my daughter was born. And that was the actual first like point. I was just like, oh, what is this weird feeling?
Right?
Like, what's
I have feelings in my body.
What is that? Oh, those are emotions.
Yeah.
So,
you know, like a lot of men, it's like you have to start, like, I don't get a lot of men in my practice because they are just learning what emotions
Tough
are.
to get them to that point.
Yeah. And it's like, the men that I work with they are more open, and they're more like,
that's what I would.
They've gone to some therapy. They've done some coaching, right? Like, I mean, my husband even is like, you're telling me emotion. Like, I don't know what that is, right? And I'm like, there's a difference between mad and enraged, right? Like there's a difference between annoyed and peeved. Like they're different frequencies, but a lot of people don't have language for it. And so they just call everything anxiety or overwhelm. And so it's also a process.
Yeah, I know.
It seems like everyone breaks down all the time. I shouldn't say
we need
that
group pricing.
But I think it's just a matter of, I mean, like you said, it's a lot of times in society, we're not taught.
Like, I used to cry a lot as a kid.
Yeah.
And my uncle we lived with would like just make fun of me for that. And that's why I think I like just cut it all off.
Yeah.
There's certain situations, like people said I smile too much or something. It stops up, like, all right, I'm going to stop smiling.
That's because when someone's talking to you, you're thinking about something else.
Yeah.
So it might, like, your physical response to someone's, like, what they're saying, I'm not even sure you're even part of the conversation.
I've always wanted to take that emotional test
Literally.
you took, because they'd be like, you're on the spectrum. Like,
I think you could probably find it online.
Yeah, I know. I always keep on telling myself that.
That thing was long. It was like
home,
2 hours long.
Oh,
and they asked the same question like 5 times. I'm like,
well, they're looking for patterns.
I'm like, damn it. I lied the first time they asked me this. Now I gotta say that same thing. Like flip back and be like, ugh. So at least I know I lied on a few questions, so that I'm probably emotionally smarter than what those test results show.
That's also a glass half full attitude. I like that.
That's how I kid myself.
Yeah, like for me, like I meditate quite a bit,
Mhm.
and like I use Brain Tap, which is
Yeah.
you probably heard of it, and
He
I
usually
feel
meditates when people are talking to him.
yeah, all the
He's just
I
not
figured it
there.
out how to
And
do
he'll
it.
just go,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So after the third time I hear,
They say protect your
So-
peace. I
yeah,
think that's
I
what
know,
you're
and-
doing.
no, after the third time he says, like we're operating together. He's like, Then I'll say something completely wild and
Yeah.
it'll just be like,
You're like blue runny rabbits.
Yeah.
But like I feel like, if I don't meditate, like I will be short with people. And I'm not
Yeah.
really short with people. I'm pretty chill overall. But like I find it at home, like if my wife says something and I don't like it, I'll respond back to her where, if I'm on my meditating trend, it's like she almost thinks I don't listen, but
Yeah.
I do. But I'm like,
Yeah, you're more chill.
I don't want to like elevate this situation right now. So
Why do
I think
you wanna
meditation is a
fight?
beautiful practice.
Yeah.
Everybody should meditate.
yeah,
Mhm.
because I just think you think a lot quicker and clearer. Like, especially like I do it at night and like the next day, like I think a lot better and
It's a
clearer.
nice reset and
Yeah.
rest. I
Yeah.
think that's why it works so well.
Yeah.
So like put you back at the right place. And then it just because your brain's working so much all the time,
Yeah.
that way it's like good to like just give it some downtime.
Yeah.
We've talked about this. It came up like 3-4 years ago because there's 4 of us in the family, 4 boys, and we're all physicians, like highly specialized. And we just talking like, oh, do you meditate? I asked him, do you meditate? He's like, oh yeah. And then I asked my other 2 brothers. I feel like that's what really gave me like my advantage in like for med school, for
Yeah.
testing, because just being able to meditate. And sometimes it's just like even seeing like my practice exams, I start like you see trends and would like go off the rails. And then I realized the best thing I could do rather than like just being worked up from the prior question, because it was never like, if it's 10 questions wrong, it's clusters of 5. It's not like every 5 questions,
Yeah.
there's one wrong. So I was like, I would just back then on pencil and paper, put that
My number 2
down,
pencil.
put everything down, look away for at least a minute.
Mhm.
And I'm like, this is a wasted minute because you have 60 minutes for 60 questions. So you can't really waste time. But I'm like, this will make my test better.
But it's also an investment. So
Yeah.
a lot of people like have that idea that it's a waste or that they're like,
Yep.
they don't have time,
Yeah.
right? But you probably experienced this was when you do it, you get so much more time back
Yeah.
because you're not spending
Yeah.
all of that mental energy and like reacting to things that you don't want to react to
Yeah.
and spending that time, So it's
just
like if you
think
can switch
clearer.
it to an
Yeah.
investment, which is what you did, it's like
Yep.
you're investing that minute
Mm.
so that you can get back on track and have clear answers and clear cognitive functioning.
Yeah, because the best 2 answers are always very close. So you just have to
Yeah.
pick the best option. So that really helped me out. It was like when I noticed, because I would just analyze how my results are coming in
Mhm.
and thinking. Another one was like not like after lunch. It's just like boom, like carb crash
Yeah.
down. So I ate very small meals, and if I got a question that I was like, do I know this? Do I not? Was this right? The next one, I would just give it some time
Yeah.
and then go back to it.
Yeah. Smart. Anytime that we can create distance between our responses, right? It's like that's what you're doing. And that's what meditation gives you
Yeah.
is that like between the stimulus and the response. It's like if you can
Yeah.
create more space in there, then you can be more clear and more purposeful in
Yeah.
what you're doing. And so that's like, it's just a beautiful life practice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
We can't all talk like Donald Trump. I don't want to be political, but just
He's
say the
got-
first thing that comes to your mind.
He's got superpowers
He's-
to actually say some of these things and not give a fuck about saying
I
them.
think it's called dementia.
Yeah. Yeah. The superpower begins with a D and ends with
Super D.
shut.
I'll give you that. I think that
Yeah.
is a superpower.
I almost have to meditate just listening to some of the stuff he says.
Mhm.
I find it funny. So
Yeah.
I just
It
keep that
is.
perspective on it. I'm like,
yeah. I mean, if it
It's
didn't like
really
cause like
become-
real world
it's a
catastrophic
yeah,
things.
I know. It's like the darkest comedy in the world, but
Yeah.
it's just like,
But it's become funnier because it's like
How did we get here?
none of it's making sense anymore, and you're just like, all right, he's gonna just say it, and let's see what he says. And believe the total opposite. You know, it's like,
no, my favorite's when he contradicts what they've put out for propaganda purposes. It's like, oh, this was a laundry room fire that caused all this damage to the biggest aircraft carrier in the world. And he's like, it's just getting bombed every day. There's 17 missiles going into it. It was like, okay. I don't think you're supposed to say that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, he's definitely not supposed to say that.
But
I don't know. I think I will give him. I was actually talking about it with a client today of like he's fully embodied in all of his shadows, which illuminates a lot of shit for everybody else, right? So it's like if we can look at it like he is doing what he said, where he was like, I'm exposing all the things. It's like he's just haphazardly doing it on accident.
but
Yeah.
So
that
it's
is
like
true, but-
he didn't mean to do it that way.
Yeah.
It's just that's what's happening, but it's so chaotic and so overwhelming.
like when they do timelines of what he says, it's like one day or even like 30 minutes before, he's like, I'm not going to do this. And then he's like, I'm doing this.
Yeah, and then
it's
he's like, just
back-
kidding, I'm going to pull back
I'm
on
going
it.
to pull it back.
Yeah.
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 So
I mean, he
crap,
creates
the
his own
markets are
problems, but
crashing.
like
big
his
time.
like if I look at his psyche, right? Like if I'm looking at it from a subconscious lens, like it makes total sense. Like
yeah.
Yeah, because
he's
it's not
creating his own
subconscious.
demise. Like
It's
Yeah.
not subconscious. It's completely id.
yeah, right. Yeah, but it's like he's, it's like he's creating his own reality
Yeah.
and we can watch it in real time.
Yeah.
And it's so blatantly just out there. There's no hiding it. And so it's kind of like, it's predictable at least.
But
I
at
guess.
least, like for him, you're like, he's got dementia. The rest of the people that have to follow him and be like,
yeah, they're
"No,
like sitting
he's-
next
he's
to him.
right."
Like if you
Yeah.
do watch them and like the
Yeah.
interviews and they're like, you weren't supposed to read that part out.
Yeah.
loud.
Yeah.
Like you can see their face being like,
Like one of the things was
Here's
like,
my secretary.
state your name. And he's like, state your name instead of
Little
saying
Marco.
his name.
Okay, how are you going to top him? I got to work on that.
yeah, you got to get your
Impression.
mannerisms better,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
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 You can't
And
do
my
Shane
skin
Gillis.
tone.
Shane Gillis.
No,
does it.
he's so good.
Yeah.
The best.
Yeah, he's pretty entertaining, I will say, but it is.
So along with this, working with patients with subconscious and stuff, are you having them change any like daily habits that they're doing or anything?
So when we do the programs,
Yes.
right, it's important to take action
Yeah.
because like our conscious mind has all of this evidence like against what your new program is.
Yeah.
And so it is important for you to like, even if it's a small thing that you've never done before, to reinforce the new program. But once the program exists, it like, at least in my experience, it's like your new normal.
Yeah.
And so it makes doing a lot easier. And so a lot of times when people are trying to get their lifestyle back in check,
Yeah.
they don't actually have the programs to support them in it. And then it feels really hard
Yeah.
and really overwhelming and really like defeating. And so what I help people do is create the program that allows you more ease in achieving the thing you're trying to do, because the conscious mind is setting your goals, but your subconscious mind is getting your goals.
Yeah.
So it's like if your goal setter goes, oh, I'm going to walk a mile every day.
Yeah.
But your goal getter is like, I don't feel good. I want to sit down. It's going to make me tired. I'll miss this opportunity if I leave my house. Like it has all these stories.
Yeah.
And so you basically have to marry that with the conscious intention.
Yeah.
And so the answer is yes, but it's done from a program and a pattern standpoint so that you can do the doing of what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
And then if you're doing self-sabotaging behaviors, then you need to look at like secondary gains. Like, are you benefiting from not doing what you say you're going to do?
Yeah.
Right? There's a lot of people who have secondary gains or a loss of identity. If I'm not sick, then how am I going to relate to people? I've always been the sick one. I've always been the one who gets connection through suffering. So if I'm not that, then how how will I live? Right.
Yeah.
So it's all programming that needs to be addressed. And I think anything behavioral, we operate 95% of the time from our subconscious mind.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like you're consciously trying to walk or chew gum or even probably operate at this point for you guys. Like, it's muscle memory, and that's all subconscious. And so if you were using your conscious mind that much, you would be exhausted every day. Right. So I try to work on the programs that help you operate on that autopilot in a way that you want to.
And are you getting a lot more people that, like, especially with the GLP-1s, because it's changing some mindset, but still, like, people, they're losing such drastic weight that, they almost feel like, is it the right thing that they've done? Sometimes they're not as happy as they were before.
Well, that's an underlying symptom, I think, for like what you're dealing with in general. It has not, to me, it has nothing to do with the GLP-1. That belief and that feeling towards self has existed, that the GLP-1 now is illuminating. Okay. So I don't specialize in people that take GLP-1s, but anything that we're doing, I think if you don't feel good, I wouldn't go so far to blame the thing that you're doing. I would look underneath it. Like, what's the thing behind the thing, right? Like, what are the stories you're telling yourself now? And are those stories the stories you were telling yourself at 6, 7, 8, 10?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because they're probably the same, and you just never upgraded them, and you never actually addressed them. And now you're in the situation where it's illuminating all of this wound.
Yeah. Or you make it fit to the scenario as you grow, and it just builds on it. Yeah. So we have a business proposition. Can we do a niche GLP-1?
Yes, we can.
I forgot what I was going to ask. Go ahead.
I was going to ask how about like alcohol in situations like this? I haven't drank in like 5 years, although I think the restaurant gave me alcoholic beer instead of non-alcoholic.
Oh, really?
You're like, I feel a little loose.
Yeah. So
what are these emotions I'm feeling?
But like, I don't drink alcohol. It's just a lifestyle change for me. But like, how does alcohol play into this? Do you recommend for your patients that you see, like, do you recommend that they abstain from alcohol? Because some people use that as a crutch.
Yeah, I work more, again, on like, why are we doing what we're doing?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And so I like a good glass of wine every now and then. Right. Yeah. I found like when I actually did the reprogramming and I actually healed a lot of my shit, I didn't have a desire to drink as much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, I naturally phased out of it. And it wasn't like even a conscious, like, I'm going to stop drinking.
Yeah.
Like,
I was kind of similar. Yeah.
Because it's like I just kind of phased out of it because I just become a piece of shit the next day. And I'm like, I'm a mom and I can't, unless I can sleep until like noon.
Yeah.
Like, which, how can I do that? Right. Yeah, no. Like most of the time I can't. I can probably like once a month.
How old are your kids?
10 and 7.
Okay. Mine are 2 and 5. And like,
you're not
I just left them for like an hour.
Yeah.
Because I thought my mother-in-law was there, but like my mom had told her not to come.
Oh man.
And they like, there were bubbles all over the kitchen floor, and they had wiped it with tissue paper.
And you get to clean it up.
Yeah, I know. My wife had gone to work, so I was like, oh man, great. I get to do this first thing in the morning. Yeah. Thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, these traumas from the mom.
Alcohol and parenting works really well if you're allowed to hit your kids. It's not good for the kids.
Which is very much frowned upon.
Yeah. I don't think you want to state that on the podcast.
I just say, like, I want people to do what feels good. Right. And from a place of empowerment, not of coping. And so like, I have patients that are like, I have to ground every day. Otherwise I feel like I'm, a basket case. And it's like, that's just coping. Yeah. You're just managing symptoms. So I would rather, let's create safety in your nervous system.
Yeah.
Where if you do grounding and it feels good, great. But don't rely, you shouldn't have to rely on anything. Yeah. And I just, my goal always is like, I just want to be. Like, I want my clients to just be. And like, I meditate. I don't meditate as often anymore because I'm just being. Like
Yeah.
I'm in a state where I'm peaceful and connected and happy. And so to me, it's like the work is to get to the being stage. Like we're not human doings, we're human beings. Like just be and like do the things that feel good and supportive, but not from a place of like desperation.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't really tell anybody what to do because I think I would rather your higher self and your intuition tell you what to do.
Yeah.
I'll help lead you to that answer, but I think everybody knows what they need to do at the end of the day and feel empowered in their choice.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts about antidepressants or SSRIs or amongst the clients or patients you have?
Yeah, I worked with a woman who was on antidepressants since she was 16 and she was 56.
Wow.
And her goal was to try to eventually get off of them.
Yep.
She did get off of them for a while and then had to go back on them, and she felt a lot of shame around it. I personally believe like we shouldn't be dependent on medication. But if you can use medication to go deeper and it can create the safety that you need in order to actually address the shit that you need to look at, like use it, right? Like we have these things that are really beautiful things if we can use them intentionally. And I think if you can use antidepressants intentionally, not just to like manage your symptoms, but to actually allow your body and your mind the space to deal with what is causing this thing, I think it's a beautiful thing. And I think, you know, I don't like to see anyone dependent on anything. Again, like whether it's grounding or antidepressants, like I hope that you can
Monthly
find
chiropractic care.
But like
I love chiropractic care.
but
That's the only reason I'm walking right now, I swear.
but the antidepressants don't really like fix anything.
No, they don't. But they can create
room,
exactly. They can create the space, right? They can create where they're not completely disembodied and like disassociated so that they can actually talk about or address what's underneath this, right? Because a lot of it is just unresolved trauma. And they don't know how to deal with it and they don't know how to resolve it, which is what subconscious reprogramming is really beautiful for, and how we can use the nervous system to our advantage. And then it's working with your doctor, you know, and saying, I'm going to step off of this and I'm going to see how I feel and see what comes up and I'm going to address that. But giving them the tools, right? Like if people don't have the tools to A, know what emotions are, B, know how they feel in the system, C, know how to sit with them, D, actually process them and digest them. Like they all just get stuck and then they call it anxiety and overwhelm and then they're on drugs.
So I've always been skeptic, especially of like anything we have for like mental disorders and anything to do with the mind. So like how you think, just because like going through med school, you learn how like medical research is done. And then you look at, what have they been doing? Like for schizophrenia, there's no good treatment for it.
No.
Because the mind's the most complex thing in the world. Like, I don't know what else could be more complex, but they pretty much say, oh, this is the pathway for this. So let's block this. And that'll
Which has
cure
a side
it.
effect for that.
Yeah. And it's just like, no, you're kind of deeming the pathway from the treatment, which doesn't make any sense. Like if you truly know the pathway and you can alter that appropriately, then you'll have a much better success rate rather than like, oh, let's just block all the dopamine receptors, stuff like that, all the SSRIs.
Yeah, it's really sad.
Yeah, and it's a spectrum for everybody. Like even for bipolar disorder, like number one drug is still probably lithium. I haven't looked it up, but it's like Lexapro or lithium.
Yeah.
And that just like
low dose lithium's longevity.
I know, but it's
I don't really get it, but
it's to prevent you from becoming manic later on in life. So yeah, that's what I think. I don't know what you think.
Huh?
Nothing. He wasn't listening.
He was meditating.
Yeah, I was meditating during that. I was doing 4-7-8 breathing. No.
It's just like, he's talking again.
Yeah.
Just remember, the camera on me has the biggest lens.
I'm not a huge pusher of antidepressants. I know, like, my parents' friend, he's an internal doc, and, you know, like, I don't know, my uncle, like, talked to him about something, and he wanted to put him on antidepressants, and he's like, fuck that shit. And, like, I'm like, I agree with you. I'm like, like, I understand some people need that, but like not everyone needs it. But I was going to ask you, like, what are your thoughts about like, all these new modalities coming, like psilocybin and MDMA, and then the IV ketamine treatments and stuff. And right now, like, I don't know who's selling ketamine, but there's like the ketamine troches that are popping up on my Instagram. I'm like, so do I just click this?
Do I just buy ketamine?
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I'm bound to click on it, but then I'll get all these emails about like getting ketamine, and I'm like, I know how to get ketamine. I'm like, this is kind of funky showing up on
I think
Instagram.
everything again with intention and with the right, like with the right person.
Yeah.
I'm again a recovering control freak, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm never doing any drugs. Like, what if I fly off a fucking building, right?
Yeah.
So it took me forever to just like try marijuana, and then
you flew off a building.
And then I flew off a building, and that's why I'm here.
Side effect number one, I was fearing.
That's part of the whole alcohol and marijuana for me is like marijuana, especially marijuana. It was like, sometimes you want it to be disinhibited, but like over time, I'm like, dude, I want to be in control.
Yeah, or just have a clearer mind, in control.
Yeah.
Just give me a shit ton of anxiety, both drinking
afterwards.
And
both
marijuana. It's just like, this
they're bringing up your shoved emotions. That's what's happening.
No, I don't think so. Because it was like undue anxiety that I'm bringing upon myself for drinking or smoking or edibles, whatever. Yeah. And I was like, this downside isn't worth the upside. The high.
Yeah.
Like, and the high it's not natural anyways. So, but just with that downside alone, I didn't think that.
Yeah. The next day was, it
was just like, why am I waking up thinking this way? Like, especially like in our field, when there's anxiety about like cosmetic patients from the day prior, that you're just like, oh God, did I do this? Did I do that? I hope they're okay.
Yeah, like second guessing yourself.
Yeah, and then they show up and they're like really happy and they're like, oh, the great results. I'm like, why am I doing this to myself?
You gotta name that voice in your head. You can call him like whatever name you want and be like, listen, Larry, I don't want to hear it right now. You just got to give him a name. But like, as we're talking about psilocybin and MDMA and all these different things, right? It's my belief that like you need to be with somebody who is safe, who is trained, who like I wouldn't just buy ketamine off of Instagram. I would again use intention and use discernment, and like I did my very first psilocybin journey with my partner Caitlin, and she's been trained as a plant medicine woman, right? And I trust her deeply. Yeah, and it was an amazing. She does a microdose and I do a full dose.
Okay.
I've only done it once, but it was literally fucking magical. I don't recommend it for everybody because she was literally like, not everybody has this experience. Like I was the universe experiencing herself. I was like, I am so good at this. Like I am so fucking creative. This is so wonderful, right? Yeah. But not everybody has that experience. A lot of people have ego deaths or trauma that comes up from their childhood or past lives or whatever. And it's like I think it's really important to be with somebody who is trained and who is well seasoned and knows what to do if something goes sideways with these things, because they can. But I think it's also a beautiful modality if that's calling to you. And I think that things like plant medicines, I think they call to you. I don't think that it's something that I would necessarily like prescribe to people. I think they have to be ready for that, and they have to be
or seeking it out too.
Yeah.
But having a nice, like, I like to say guide or like somebody there.
Yeah.
Because I messed around with it in college, like a decent amount.
Yeah.
Not
recreationally
like,
is different than medicinally too. It's like the intentions
but
are
like
different.
How the experience was real, like there were some, it's either horrible experience or great experience. So having somebody to guide you, make sure you stay on that path to be on that great experience would make a huge difference.
Yeah. Or just creating safety in the bad experience. It's like, what is this trying to teach you? Right. And creating that safety for yourself to look at that. Cause obviously it's coming up. And I believe that like we need to look at what's coming up. But like, if you don't have a guide in that experience, it can be very, very scary.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, having a trusted practitioner who can hold space, who knows what they're doing, who, you know, has all of the training. I would, again, everything that I do really comes down to like your own intuition and your own discernment. It's like everything should be coming down to what is your inner truth, and your inner truth might look different than somebody else's.
Yeah.
And that's okay. But like, you need to know what your voice sounds like and what your truth is and what your alignment looks like and how you're going to feel making that decision. And it's not for somebody else, it's for you.
Yep.
And so I look at that the same way.
How about crystal meth? No, I'm kidding.
Don't recommend. Definitely do not recommend that or
Medicinal
heroin.
crystal meth.
But you know what? Everybody's on their own soul journey, to be honest. It's like, I don't know, maybe that's in your soul path. Like maybe that's part of your life lessons. I don't fucking know. I don't know what you signed up for to come down here.
Oh, in med school, there were quite a few people that are like, oh, ran out of Adderall, so I decided to get some crystal meth. I'm like,
Yeah, it's actually crazy.
It
they
feels
can
like a
study for
bad
3 days
decision.
straight. They're like, oh, I stayed up and studied for 3 days straight.
I had one patient. My favorite crystal meth story, because like you in the notes, like because they've already been seen in the ER, so they say a motor vehicle collision or like car versus bicycle, and a lot of times patients or their family members like, I have pictures of the scene. Do you want to see? I was like, no, because it doesn't affect like what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
But I saw this one on the note said 18-wheeler versus houseboat. And I'm like,
What?
And the wife was like, I have pictures of the scene. Do you want to see it?
Yeah,
I was like, yeah.
I do.
And it's in like Bayou St. John. So it's like kind of like swampy area, like one lane on each side highway in Louisiana, and just goes straight for miles. And there's nothing from as far as you can see to the left or the right. There's just one houseboat, and it has an 18-wheeler sticking out of it. Like if this guy went off the road at any other portion on that highway,
He would have just gone into the
would've
water.
just drowned. But
Wow.
and apparently it's big with truck drivers because they got to stay up. Because he was just going nuts. Like he's in restraints, but he was doing like sit-ups repeatedly, and they did imaging, consults, all this stuff. And I'm telling my attending, I'm like pounding him with medicine that's not like that will knock anybody out, not to mention like a large animal. And he's still they're just like, I'm like,
It's like superhuman strength.
yeah. I told my attending, I was like, it's crystal meth. He's gonna do this for 3 more days and then he's gonna crash out. And he was like, what? He's like, no. I was like, he's like, we have to order these consults and stuff. I was like, we really don't. Just let him burn it out
for 3 days.
I swear, in 72 hours, done.
Wow.
He was like, Robbie, how'd you know? It's what
I watched a
people
lot
on
of
crystal meth
intervention.
do. It's not one I can tell you personally, but that's just what it does.
Yeah.
And it was positive on his drug screen when he came in, methamphetamines. And
Yeah.
I don't think this guy's on Adderall.
Yeah.
He's on
There's something else happening here. Yeah.
Because he was hit with more Haldol than I've ever given to like 10 patients.
Don't they have to give him like clonidine mixed with Haldol or something?
Dude, we gave him everything.
This is the message to the kids. Don't do drugs.
Yeah,
That's
don't do
the
drugs.
don't do drugs
Yeah.
camera.
He's literally doing like 100 to 200 sit-ups a minute for 3 days.
Jesus.
Yeah. Yelling stuff.
Yeah.
There's just like,
soul's-
oh, he's acting like this. I'm not comfortable going in there. I'm like, don't. Just let him be.
Yeah.
Maybe
His soul's on a journey.
Maybe throw a water
He might not
bottle
even
at
be
him
in his
every 2
body.
days.
Yeah.
It was one of the craziest things I've seen, though.
Yeah.
I was just like, holy crap. And then I just keep thinking of the 18-wheeler sticking out of a houseboat like a cartoon. It was like Looney Tunes.
Somebody came in to save the day for him.
Yeah, you
though.
should
I
have
mean,
taken a picture of the picture.
I really should have. It is nothing like it. It
Use
was seared in my brain, so
use
that's
AI
why-
to recreate it.
Yeah. Actually,
Yeah,
I got this.
18-wheeler into hospital.
Uh-huh. Long 2-lane
Have me
highway,
driving it.
swamplands. Give it all the details.
Yeah.
I bet you it could create it.
Actually, yeah. It'll create the scene too.
Yeah.
I'll know exactly how he did it.
Yeah, right?
Man raging on crystal meth runs into the only houseboat.
But it's all unprocessed trauma, you know? It's like people do these things because they don't, it's like the easiest coping mechanism.
Yeah.
And then, or it's giving them a benefit, which is staying up to be a truck driver.
Superpowers.
Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy.
So what is, like, when someone comes in for a session with you, what does a session with you look like?
Great segue. He's known for these.
So smooth.
I know.
Well, first I start them with crystal meth. And then
Sounds
and then we go down the ladder.
like a deal. Where do we sign up?
we do the crystal meth first, and then we get into the subconscious reprogramming. So so it can look different. If it's a one-on-one session with me, it's either on Zoom or at my home office, and I typically have you kind of ground for a minute. I open up the ceremony essentially by calling in guides, angels, ancestors, any benevolent being that's there for your greatest and highest transformation. I'm very spiritually connected, and I really believe I'm like a conduit, and I'm just kind of, I'm like listening to your higher self and your guidance and guiding you through it so that you can find your own truth. And so I really set like intention before we do anything. And then I ask what your intention is. So like if it's working on stopping drinking, or you want to lose weight, or you're going through a divorce, or you went through a bad breakup, or, you know, you just had a baby and you had a really traumatic birth story, like whatever those things are, we'll set an intention. So it's like, okay, by the end of the session, how do you want to feel about this? Right. And we'll kind of constantly kind of be checking back in. And then it's like an onion. So I typically start with a stress relief balance to just kind of get the system acclimated. Once the stress is relieved from the system, we can hear our higher selves and the guidance that we need. And so I'll ask you how it was, and you'll say, oh, I realized that, you know, this was connected to that, or I actually don't feel safe, or I saw this younger version of me that's 7 years old and she feels scared, or whatever it is. And so it's kind of like peeling back the layers, and every balance will create a new balance. And so sometimes it's stress relief. Sometimes it's a new belief that we need. Sometimes it's a not belief. A lot of practitioners, like, they say it should be positively stated. I don't believe that, because I had a client whose mom was very abusive, and like she believed like I'm a bitch. And I'm like, well, then you need to believe I'm not a bitch. Right. Like, so there's certain statements where it's like, you can believe you're not a bitch, but you can also believe you are a bitch. And those two things are in conflict.
Yeah.
And so I'm always kind of checking, like, do you need a not belief to cancel out the belief you currently have? Do you need a new belief that's never existed before? Like, I am safe no matter what.
Yeah.
I'm inherently worthy. My worthiness does not, depend on my achievements or whatever it is. And then I lead you through the balances, and you're doing the integrations. Yeah. And then by the end, if you're a stress level 8, I want to get you down, right? Yeah. So it's like we kind of check in and say, okay, how are you feeling now? Are you at a 4? Are you at a 3? Yeah. Do you feel complete? And then we're also looking for like trapped emotions or imbalances in the system to relieve those from the system.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my one-on-one work. I also do ceremonial healing through.
What does that entail?
So I do it with my best friend Jade, who is a doula and studying midwife. And it's kind of a rendition of Closing of the Bones. If you're familiar with Closing of the Bones, it's a postpartum healing ceremony. But we kind of identified like 5 different thresholds that women go through in their lives. Well, men too, but we primarily focus on women. So kind of creating these different archetypes for the different thresholds so that you can understand.
Men are kind of retarded. It's only 2 steps for them.
It's 2 steps. Yeah. 2 thresholds. But basically, I designed a quiz for women so that they can understand what threshold they're standing at. And then that comes with emails to support them. And then I have a portal where it has a whole bunch of the things that I've created over the years. And I do weekly tarot readings for them and all of that kind of stuff. And then if they want to go deeper into ceremony, Jade and I will go to their house and set up an altar. It typically looks like either like a foot soak or like a salt bath that you would start with to create warmth in the body. Then we kind of wrap you up and do storytelling. So a lot of this, if it's based in postpartum, the last one we did, she had a lot of birth trauma from her own birth. Like with her mom, she almost died, and she has nerve damage in her right arm. And so she was really afraid of getting pregnant. And then she did get pregnant. So she kind of disembodied because like she was afraid that she was going to die and her baby was going to die. And then so her second pregnancy, she got pregnant with a
pretty-
girl.
Yeah.
She had 2 cesareans. And so, all of these, like, could I have done a vaginal birth? Or like, did I make that decision out of fear? Or I feel guilty that I wasn't really there for my pregnancy with my firstborn because I was so traumatized, right? And so we're kind of talking about it, but we're also clearing it through subconscious reprogramming so that she feels at peace and really kind of sees everything as, like, my intention was, like, let's see your story as perfect and whole, right? Like, even though you have nerve damage, even though you had this experience, like, let's see it from the birth of, like, the magic of birth, right? It's magical and it's a miraculous, experience. And it doesn't necessarily matter on the other end, like, how it came to be, right? And so just kind of creating peace in the system. And then we use what's called rebozos. They're hand woven, kind of like long scarves, and there's 7 of them, one for each chakra. And so Jade will go and do light body work and then wrap you up, and you basically, like, look like a mummy. And so it kind of wraps you and
So like swaddles
you, and it feels really good because it's super safe and it, like, compresses your body. And you kind of just sit there as I do alchemy bowls. The alchemy bowls that we have work on the endocrine system specifically. And so I'll guide you through a guided meditation.
Are those like sound bowls? Okay.
Yeah, crystal sound bowls. And I'll guide you through a meditation to just kind of help the healing along. And then you'll unwrap, and it's like the ceremony of kind of closing one chapter and coming into the next.
The metamorphosis.
Yeah, exactly.
Getting out of your cocoon.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we do that for the 5 thresholds. So depending on, if a woman is going through a divorce and she's kind of healing from that and coming, back into her own sovereignty, or a woman who, the gateway of Persephone is like the gateway of awakening, those, like, spiritual awakenings where you're like, my entire fucking life was built on a lie. What the fuck? Those moments.
When's your next opening?
Yeah. Tomorrow, actually. No, not tomorrow. Tomorrow's my day. Wednesday's my day.
Okay.
Thursday. So we typically see people on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Okay.
And then my one-on-one is Fridays. So ceremonies are typically Tuesday, Thursday. My one-on-ones are Fridays. And I do women's circles. So I host women's circles at my house with my friend Caitlin, who's the plant medicine facilitator. And that's more like group style conversation, subconscious reprogramming, sound healing, and energy healing. And then I have my online portal and new moon manifestation group. So I kind of have things for everybody.
Nice.
Yeah.
And how many sessions, like the one-on-one sessions, how many sessions does it take usually to get, like, a breakthrough with some of these people?
We always have a breakthrough after session 1.
Yeah.
When I'm talking with people, I can kind of intuitively sense, like, you would be best with 4 sessions. You probably need 6, 8, whatever. 8 sessions, if you can sit down for 8 sessions, which is the equivalent of like 8 hours of work, your whole life will change.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of, like, what are your goals?
Just one whole workday.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to, like, it really, like, what are your goals? What are you trying to achieve? Right.
Yeah.
So if you're just trying to get a stress relief because you're in, like, a high trauma situation right now and you're just trying to kind of regulate, like, you'll find that on one session. But again, it's layered. And
I'm
so
high
coming
trauma
back,
now because we got
High
told that
trauma.
we only have 5 minutes
Triggered.
left.
triggered.
We only thought Jose got that.
I'm gonna need to sign up for 24 sessions. God, I thought Jose wasn't gonna be here today. How can people find you?
I'm on TikTok at rapid_renegade. And then I'm on Instagram, _rapid renegade, and at rapidrenegade.com. Those are kind of my primary.
Okay. What's the easiest way to sign up for, whether it's one-on-ones or the spiritual healing
My website. Yeah,
And-
rapidrenegade.com.
Okay.
Yeah. I have a lot of things on there, but I also have just, like, the contact form. A lot of people are like, what, I don't know what to do. I don't know, so just contact me and we can figure out, like, the best plan for you. Cause some people think, like, oh, I need one-on-one work. And I'm like, actually, you might be better in the group situations. Right. So it just kind of depends on what you're working through. And I mean, I try to make doors for everybody, right? It's like, I don't think they're one size fits all. So, but yeah, if the people that are desiring that deeper work, that one-on-one, like, my website would be the way to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I think right now I have, like, a session, like a 4-pack session on there, which tends to be pretty great for most people. And then if they want more, they can do more.
do you find any people going for the group sessions like for a prolonged period, like rather than just like 4, like just finding like some type of ease and resolution by just continuously attending?
Yeah, we have some. So our group sessions are limited to 10 women. And so we keep it very intimate because it is super transformational. And also like our intention with this is like, so you can also find community and like, there's always amazing serendipitous like situations that happen in these. It's like the right women are in the right group at the right time, you know, dealing with very similar things. And so that provides a lot of healing and comfort, but also community. And so for those types of things, like we have women that come every single month to one of the circles, or they'll attend one of our retreats, right? And so some of them will do one-on-one work with me to kind of complement it. So it just kind of depends. But if you're looking for community and kind of being in the space with other women, there's a lot of power when women get together and share their story and heal. And I think it's super beneficial if that's the thing you're into.
Do you see anything with like, you know, groups of like breast cancer patients or anything like that?
I have women in my group that have dealt with breast cancer, very recently, actually. On my one-on-one work, they tend to have very similar childhood experiences with their primary caregivers. And so I kind of go back in childhood and start to rewrite that in their system so that their body can heal. And then releasing all of the trauma that is getting diagnosed and having surgeries and different things. But yeah, I mean, we're human. We go through all the things.
Because just finding out and like going through all the surgeries and treatments and stuff, it's quite traumatic. And, it's good to have some outlet where you can, you can go back to normal and just not think about
a new normal.
Like the cancer coming back all the time. So
well, and it's like that if you're feeling like the fear of like the other shoe is going to drop, right? Because we create from the field. And so if like we're always creating from our programs, and if we have the program that like I'm going to get breast cancer, I'm sick. If whatever stories you're telling, if they're embedded in the subconscious system, like they're like on it, we're going to make you sick, right? So it's really important to catch what we say and like correct ourselves and think positively about our bodies and that they are whole and healthy and thriving and full of vitality and all the different things, because that will help the body actually manifest that.
Good outlook leads to positive outcomes, and there's actually research for surgeries. Like more positive, you have better outcomes. Even if your outcome's bad, you just have a better attitude, so you think more of it, I guess. But no, on top of that, like it's actually less, not side effects, less risk for all the downside stuff of surgery. So
well, you also read about like the miraculous healings, right? It's like because they believed that they could. Like there is no other explanation. You know, it's like they believed wholeheartedly with all of their cells that like they will conquer this thing, and they do. And so,
especially subconsciously, the people that believe it consciously but subconsciously are thinking
there's
different.
A disconnect.
It definitely doesn't happen. So
we should set something up.
Let's do it.
Sounds
we have a lot.
No,
it'll
get
work
a group
really
of
well.
girls.
I could do a
of them
2-for-1 session on the brothers and have you guys balance at the same time.
Oh, we're talking about the breast cancer patients.
Oh, okay. Oh, you don't want to go through it.
No.
I think
for
maybe
our patients, we have a lot of breast. I have not had breast cancer, so I cannot.
I mean, I work on more than just breast cancer.
No, I know. I got it.
We don't have to talk about your emotional intelligence right now. It's
not
fine.
while cameras are rolling. Where's patient confidentiality?
But I'm happy to help anybody when they're ready for it. And I like what you guys do of kind of looking at the whole person and not just like one aspect, because that's unfortunately the medical system. It hasn't had the support to be, like.
Well, it's been plug the hole, which it used to be just trauma surgery, but now it's become a whole thing. And like getting you out of the office. Where, that's where, this private pay sector, pay for my care, just like you're in, we're sort of in, is like when people are paying for their own care, they care more about it, and that shows, where they're going to go, how they're going to heal.
Hmm.
Um, and I think overall, it's just a better way to deal with stuff, like whether it's like doing hormones or peptides, or they're, coming in for cosmetic surgery. They're paying for it, and they're much happier with it than, you know, like the in and out. We do plenty of insurance cases,
Yeah.
it's not as many people as happy with what they have, um, as, our patients that are paying for it.
Yeah. Well, it's like the skin in the game. They're
Yeah.
invested.
Yeah.
So when you're invested, you have better outcomes and better,
Yeah.
mindsets and all of that.
Yeah.
And that's
Thank you for coming on the show.
yeah,
It was,
thanks a
Yeah.
lot.
Thank you.